As always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the week?
I really wanted to go with OU fans with this SEC news. Just think of the home games you're going to have, season ticket holders hosting LSU, Auburn, Florida, Georgia,
May have to expand the stadium,
Alabama.
man.
Yeah, how about these road trips down to Tuscaloosa, down to Baton Rouge? It's going to be awesome. Fayetteville. I'd like to go see a game in Fayetteville, but I had to give a shout out and give him some love. The winner of the week is our man Shane Beamer, friend of the podcast. He's absolutely killing it there in South Carolina. He's got the fan base riled up. It was a home run at SEC Media Days for him. They recreated the famous Spurrier photograph, which was awesome. A lot of his quotes have been fantastic about how he believes even more now that it's a championship level program and they're going to win there, and they can only control what they can control in their preparation to win games. I just love how good Shane Beamer is doing at South Carolina right now. I think he's winning with his fan base. He's winning with his players. He's winning with the media. Now, you got to go out there and win on the football field, but right now, I love all the attention and the praise that Shane Beamer's getting out there nationally. Love it.
Did you see the picture?
Yes, awesome.
That's
Awesome.
when you know a guy gets it.
That's right.
And we've had Shane on before. I consider Shane a friend. He is a fantastic guy, and
He's another Ted Lasso.
he does have Ted Lasso vibes.
He's
I
a
mean, he
Ted
does.
Lasso.
Now he's got some intensity to him,
Yeah.
just like Ted Lasso does. By the way, Friday, new season
Yeah.
Friday.
This week?
That I'm pretty sure that's what I read. Let's
Oh, I
go.
know what I'm doing this weekend.
Oh my
Is it
gosh.
is it bad form to bury an entire season of, or do they release it by week?
I'm hoping it's all at once, right? I don't know. I didn't watch the first season when it kept, so I don't know.
Right.
I,
It's bad form to just bury
is
an entire season in one weekend, isn't it? I
I
almost said
kind
it
of
with the
want it to
first
be
season.
one at a time, like for a
Yeah,
little like nostalgia's sake, where I there's build up to it, like I'm
that's right.
anticipating, like I'm that would be
You got
fun.
to have time to really absorb each episode
I'll
before you
just
just
watch it
burn
at
through
least
them
two
all.
times.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm excited. But Beamer's the best, man. And if you don't know what picture we're talking about, there's an old picture of Spurrier where he's at a Coke fountain and Shane Beamer and the two players that went to SEC media days with him, they kind of recreated it, put it out on South Carolina's Twitter. But yeah, I was watching his press conference because I knew he was up that day. I was on SEC Network, and I was watching it, and he crushed it, man. The answers, and I started seeing my Twitter timeline comment about Shane Beamer, comment about Shane Beamer. Shane Beamer's awesome. Wow, he's killing it. Shane Beamer, and I was like, oh, glad the rest of you know now that this guy
Right.
is awesome. So I'm with you, Ted. It was really good. It was really cool to see Shane in his element, and I sent him a little something saying that he crushed it, and he got back to me. We chatted, so
See, that's the thing.
he's the best.
Like Shane Beamer right now, I I know him from whenever he coached at OU and just doing media stuff and being around the team some. Don't know him great. Would see him around Norman and stuff. I feel like if I called him right now, he'd pick up and answer. No problem. That is for a head coach at a major, conference, major program. That tells you everything you need to know right there. He's going to get back to you. He's going to answer your phone call. He's going to answer your text message. And that goes way further than you could ever imagine.
And whether it makes sense or not, Paul Feinbaum even said a bunch of nice stuff about him. And if Feinbaum's saying nice
Mm,
stuff about you, I mean, he called him the talk of the day, Ted, and I was like, let's
love it.
go. So
Love it.
it's awesome. I hope they win some games. man.
I
I
know.
really do. Especially when OU goes to the SEC. I mean, they'll be in the other division.
Let's
So
get it. Right.
let's get it. All right. Who do you have as your loser of the week?
I feel like I've done this 5 times, but it's come up again. It's Packer fans. Yet again, you got no information. Camp is right around the corner. We don't know what's going to happen. We just found out that the Packers offered Aaron Rodgers a massive contract, making the highest paid player in the entire history of the NFL. And he just straight up turned his nose up at it. Now you got his fiance's mother on Twitter. Stephen A says he's going on some rant about how Aaron Rodgers does not want to be a part of the Packers organization. And mother in law to be quote tweets it and says, spoken truth. Mother in law getting in on the action. How are you supposed to feel about that if you're a Packers fan? Does she know what
Not
she's
good.
talking about? I doubt the future mother-in-law is a big-time football fan and just happens to be weighing in on what's going on up in Packers land. She has to know something, right?
One would assume.
Brutal.
I mean, the mother-in-law doesn't do that without asking him first, right? Like, hey, what do you want me to say?
Or overhearing him say something or some type of inside information.
Well, if she's just putting it out there from overhearing it, that's just a huge mistake by her, right?
It'll probably be deleted. Maybe it already has been. But,
Back
just I hate it for the Packers fans, man.
Packers fans are probably feeling how Thunder fans felt last night watching Giannis and the
Oh
Bucks
yeah,
win a title.
absolutely.
Just sad.
I've heard a lot of people talking about it. If they drafted his replacement and his replacement has been there all off season and they offered him a 5-year extension, making him the highest paid player in NFL history, they have to not like his backup, right?
That it, connecting the dots would lead you to that conclusion. Yes. The
Which again, Packers
Aaron,
fans, not a
Aaron,
good thing.
Aaron, come back, please. Yeah, we'll
Hmm.
that's gonna be like I don't think he's showing up to camp. Like there's no indication that he's showing up to camp. That's next week.
I don't know. I don't think he's showing up either, but what are they going to have to do? I mean, he said pretty early on it's either him or the GM, right? And the GM, that's the easiest decision in the world. The GM is, guess how many games he's going to win you this year? 0. Last year's MVP, he'll win you some football games. You dump the GM that made all that those decisions draft wise and pissed him off. That's the easiest decision ever.
That would be such a power move by Rodgers if they end up firing the GM and he just shows up the next day like, oh, hey, everybody, that'd be, ooh, you talk about carrying some weight. So for my winner of the week, Ted, thought about going with Deion Sanders because Deion likes nothing more than some Deion, and he likes nothing more than people talking about him and that
He's
stupid
good at
stunt
it.
he pulled with the whole call me coach. He wouldn't call Nick. It's like, what? Yes, I would. And the reporter's reaction, he was like, yeah, I would. I call Nick all the time. And he's like, no, you wouldn't. You get cussed out if you did that. He was like, okay, Dion. The timing, like the comedic timing by that guy was fantastic. But I mean, I just want to go on the record. If you didn't coach me, I'm probably not going to call you coach very often. The only reason I'm calling you coach often is because I may not know your first name. If I know your first name, I'm 30 years old now. I'm going to call another man by his first name because this just in. It's your name. I'm not expecting you to call me, hey, radio guy, or hey,
64.
podcast guy. I'm not going to, just because you're a coach, it's not like some formal title. I can have respect for you and call you by your first name. It's not that serious, guys. It's not. It's your name, man. It's
That's
like, what?
true. And I'm not saying that what you do is wrong. I'm just saying that if I know someone's a coach, I call them coach. Just habit.
We are different. But that doesn't surprise me. You're a better person than me, so that doesn't surprise me. But
I wonder
I
if it's different if a coach is
is there like an
younger than
age
me.
cutoff?
I wonder if there's a coach that's younger than me if I don't say coach.
So when you do the shows during the season, when you do the Lincoln show, do you call him Lincoln or do you call him Coach?
Coach. I'm pretty sure. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
But he didn't coach you, and he's younger than you.
Yeah, he is younger than me.
Yeah,
I
you're
know.
old.
Maybe I say Lincoln. I don't know. I
I
feel like I say coach. I think I say coach.
I I just it's never been like we did Big 12 media days. I interviewed all 10 head coaches in the Big 12 and called them all by their first name. And not a single one of them looked at me weird, said anything. It's like I called Gary Patterson Gary. I even called him GP one time. Like,
Yeah.
it's not weird to call another human being by
No,
their first name.
I'm not
It's
saying it's
just silly.
weird at all. I think I say coach. It's not weird if you don't though. I just think I say coach. I think I'm stuck in the player mindset. Like I don't know.
I if you coached me and I see you, I call you coach. Like if I see Bob, I call him coach. Right? Because he was my coach.
Hmm.
Like if I see someone that coached me, it's what's up, coach. If you did not coach me and I'm interviewing you for something, or if I'm just seeing you, if I see you at a game, I'm probably going to call you by your first name. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't. I'm
Maybe
gonna
I'm
have
in
to.
the minority. Am I the weird one?
No, 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 no. You're not. But I think the way I do it is the minority. But
Gotcha.
but now I need to. I've never really paid attention to it before, so now I need to dial back in to see what I'm saying.
Okay. You'll figure it out. Okay, but my winner of the week, Nick Saban. Nick Saban, as if he needed more juice on the recruiting trail than he already has. He drops an absolute bomb on all of us speaking at the Texas High School Coaches Convention. He said that Bryce Young, their projected starting quarterback, who has not played a meaningful snap of football for Alabama, he said he is, quote, or he is up to, quote, almost seven figures in NIL deals. For those of you that struggle counting, seven figures and $1 million. He said it has to do with the brand. And that's where I was like, there's the flex. He was like, this is a guy that hasn't even played. He said it has to do a lot with Alabama's brand. A not so subtle message said, and I don't think it was a coincidence that it happened at the Texas High School Coaches Convention either,
Yeah.
where they have really gone after the top prospects in that state and gotten a lot of them. He just, drops that little nugget of knowledge that their quarterback that hasn't even played
Mm.
is approaching $1 million in NIL deals.
See now, in this instance, if I'm Bryce Young, I don't say coach. I say, hey Nick, why don't you keep my deals out your mouth right now and stop talking about my business to a bunch of people I don't know. Don't make my stuff public. I don't want a bunch of people knowing I'm about to be a millionaire. Okay.
I
It's
thought that
kind
was
of
weird
rude,
too. Like
incredibly rude.
you, this is and it was kind of a thing in the NFL. It's like, hey, you don't talk about another man's bank account. Like you don't talk
Mhm.
about that. Now, if a guy gets a huge deal, right? Everyone jokes about it. Like, oh, you're paying for everything now, but like there's this joke period, and then it's like, okay, it's over. But I thought it was kind of weird, and like I
Like, how's
think
that
it
go in the locker room?
well, and I saw some of the guys that were at media day for Bama say like, hey, we're happy for him, right? You know, we're happy for, but I just thought it was weird that it came from him. Like he didn't need to put his business out there. Like, is that a recruiting tactic by him? That's kind of how I interpret
Yeah.
it. But then
Yes.
because every kid in the country is saying, like, do you hear what Bryce Young's getting? Oh my gosh. But if you're Bryce Young, you have to be like, I mean, coach, did you really have to do that? Like, I think people are assuming that I'm going to make plenty of money, but you really had to put my business out there like that?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a little
Yeah.
weird.
It was weird, but it's one of those things where coach is like, sorry, bud, you're getting that because of the brand, and the brand is going to use it as a recruiting tool. So I'm sorry about your luck. Enjoy the money.
Yeah. Bryce Young's probably not that worried because he's like,
No.
I'm about to be a millionaire. This is awesome.
Yeah, he's probably like, dang, you didn't have to put it out there like that. But then he's like, but yeah, everyone
But let the
knows
people
now.
know. Let them
That's
know.
right.
Okay. For my loser of the week, thought about going with the U.S. women's national team.
Oof.
Soccer. We were all asleep, but they got rolled by Sweden 3-0 in their Olympic opener.
What, 44 straight matches that they've
Snaps a
won?
44 match unbeaten streak, and they had won 40 of those 44. I
Yeah.
mean, what the hell?
And it's not like it was a fluky last second. Oh my
No.
gosh, we messed that up. They got pounded.
3-0. And I mean, from everything, from the highlights I watched and the article I read, didn't sound like it was very close,
Right.
especially the quotes I saw from the U.S. team. Like, I was like, oh my God. So
It's weird. I don't know.
hopefully it's the wake up call they needed. Uh, I would like to go on record. I like watching them win. So figure it out, ladies. Let's go. Come on. Red, white, and blue, USA. Hey, these colors don't run. Let's go.
Well,
But my loser of the
I,
week.
I hope they get it together because let's be honest, they've been in the news a lot, and in a strange way, I think a lot of people are, I don't know if they're rooting for them to lose, but if they do lose, there's going to be a lot of that's what you get type of stuff, you know?
I understand what you're saying, but I will say this. If you're rooting for any of the United States teams to lose, you are a terrorist. Yeah, I said it. Come on. It's the Olympics.
That's right.
Come on.
I was thinking about like, there's no way any other country has that problem, right?
It's just weird. Why would you cheer? Why would you cheer against the United States in anything? It's the Olympics. Like if you're an American,
Well, I mean,
I guess the political stuff
it's the
like
political
that.
stuff.
Yeah, but dude,
Well,
put
I
it
don't
all
know if
aside. It's the Olympics. It's every 4 years. It's red, white, and blue, baby. Put everything aside. Put all our differences aside. We
I
cheer for America when this thing rolls around. That's it. That's the rule. I don't want to hear anything else.
I agree 100%.
Don't don't tell me you want the United States women's national team to lose and then you go cheer for China. I don't want to. Don't tell me that. I don't
I
want to.
don't think
Like,
that's
let's
happening.
not go down this road.
I don't think that's happening at all. But I'll just say this. I don't think any other country has that problem. It's very unique to the United States. But I also it's also very unique that a national team would kneel in protest during their own country's national anthem. It's just a completely unique situation. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
I, no, I don't think there's anyone else that's going through that.
I am. I am ignoring everything that factors into this, and this is the one time. Like, We all are cheering for the same
Let's
team
just
here,
get
people.
over it and cheer for the team.
Just the red, white, and blue, the stars and stripes.
Cheer
That's
for the
it.
jersey, not the player.
I do nameless and faceless. All I see are the colors, baby. Red, white, and blue. Let's roll. But loser of the week, and you touched on it earlier, it's got to be Bob Bowlsby, right? And you've got the OU in Texas to the SEC stuff. That's got to be incredibly stressful. And I wonder if our man Bowlsby is rethinking the way that he handled those questions about the OU Nebraska kickoff situation. If that was the straw that broke the camel's back, then oh man, I bet you he's like, I probably should have handled that differently. But
I feel
he
like
was
there's either going to be an announcement tomorrow that OU is going to the SEC or that the OU Nebraska game is going to be a 7 o'clock kickoff.
hey, either one would be great. But he was going to be my loser of the week before the OU and Texas to the SEC stuff started. And it's because he told, okay, so when it comes to college football playoff expansion, one of the things that people are the most excited about, in my opinion, is the fact that playoff games, those first round games, will be played on campus.
Mm-hmm.
Those atmospheres are going to be electric. That is going to be peak college football. Everyone's pumped for it. Well, Bob Bowlsby told Sports Illustrated that college football playoff leaders have discussed incorporating more bowl games in an expanded playoff, meaning that the first round games could be played at neutral site bowl games instead of on campus. He said, quote, that's certainly an option. No, it's not, Bob. No, it's not.
I
That
can't hate
cannot.
anything more than I hate that right there. I hate that. Don't
That
ever bring that up again.
that should not be an option, Commissioner
Hey,
Bowlsby. If you can't even put that out publicly. It's like people are so fired up for that part of expansion, and you want to incorporate more bowls?
no,
There's no
no.
way, man.
If Cheez It wants to sponsor the first round matchup between Georgia and Oklahoma, hosted in Norman, Oklahoma, you can call it the Cheez It game in Norman, whatever the hell you want to call it. But don't you dare take a first round playoff game from campus and put it in some BS stadium that no one wants to go to. Don't do it.
Oh,
Cannot do that.
first round matchup between Oklahoma and Penn State will be played in Santa Clara.
Or it'll be played in the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl.
Ugh.
What a joke. The whole thing's a joke. If it were up to me, I would give the bowl games to everyone else. If you're the 12 teams, we're playing round 1 at home. We're playing round 2 at home, so the bye teams get to host, and we're playing the semifinals in the bowl spots, and then the national championship. That's it. That's all you get. And if the Rose Bowl wants to raise a big ordeal about being on whatever day and whatever time, say, you know what? You can have the third place Big Ten team and the second place Pac 12 team. We don't care. Congratulations. You can play on January 1st. We're having a playoff and you're not included.
We'll see. College football playoff expansion. Wonder how big of a role that played in the possibility of OU and Texas going to the SEC. I don't think it was insignificant.
I think it makes it more palatable for
for
both
sure.
the SEC teams and Oklahoma and Texas.